to the Late Night Geek, the podcast that'll have you saying, Tony Stark built this thing in a cave with a box of scraps. And we've got a great show for you tonight. The popular art collective Mischief has just announced that they will be making a cologne that smells like WD-40. And somewhere, Hank Hill is losing his mind. Bah! Finally a cologne I can get behind. Peggy, I need your credit card. The estate of J.R.R. Tolkien has just approved a really fascinating project. It is an opera based on the Silmarillion. Now, I am a huge Lord of the Rings nerd. This tie that I have worn in most of my episodes is actually the text written on the One Ring. And there is no property that would be better suited for making an opera than Lord of the Rings, because music is a huge part of those books and that world. The god of Middle-earth literally sang the world into existence with his angels. Now, Silmarillion has a lot of great content they can make this opera based off. I'm just disappointed that it's not going to be based off the Two Towers, because we're not going to get this beautiful number. Taters, what is taters? Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. There's so many great things you can do. These delicious tubers can't be beat. They're the most amazing thing to eat. I think it could be great. Heinz just announced that just in time for summer, they will be releasing a bright pink barbecue sauce. It is a mixture of mayo and barbecue, and a lot of people are uncomfortable with the particular shade of this condiment. There's something about the very unnatural pink color that just doesn't seem quite edible. And to that, I do have a response. We are the same generation that was guzzling down green ketchup every time a Shrek movie came out. And you're going to turn your nose up at pink barbecue sauce? I mean, just for the pun alone, barbecue? That's brilliant. But I don't think we have any room to criticize this particular sauce. A group of scientists claims that they had their first conversation with whales, that they were able to emulate the whale calls and get a response back. They believe that this will pave the way to talking to aliens in the future. Was this scientist named Spock? Because that is literally the plot of Star Trek 4! You know you watch too many movies when you're actually thinking that talking to whales is going to help you talk to aliens. This story is just wild. It's one of those life-imitating fiction things. It lines up so perfectly with the plot of the best Star Trek movie ever that it's hilarious. In the next season of Fortnite, they will be introducing Star Wars characters to the game. And this is the first time I have ever been tempted to play Fortnite. There's just something about the idea of mowing down 12-year-olds as Anakin Skywalker that's just perfect. Now, what I'm about to say, I'm 100% serious. I'm not trying to joke around. This is not a gag. If we were ever to make a movie like Who Framed Roger Rabbit again, I think Fortnite might be the vehicle to do that. When you think of all of the crazy properties that come together in a single game across a bunch of different IP owners and studios and video game developers, a Fortnite feature film might actually be the best way to recreate the magic of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. At the very least, when the new season comes out, I might watch some Fortnite live streams because I want to watch Darth Vader floss. I can't do it. I have no rhythm. Christian Bale will be in a new movie starring Frankenstein's monster, and some photos were just released of him in the full makeup. Let's take a look. Oh no! Not again! Why does Frankenstein's monster need to have sexy tattoos? Studios, stop doing things that remind us of Jared Leto's Joker. Now, giving a character a bunch of tattoos doesn't necessarily make us think of Jared Leto's Joker. But when you're trying to go for a darker, edgier feel, the character's very pale, usually has prosthetics, and the tattoos are apropos to
the character itself in a way that is heavy-handed and not in any way subtle, it's going to remind us of this garbage. Stop doing this! There's a new SpongeBob movie on the horizon called SpongeBob's Search for SquarePants, and people are excited and have some questions. One person commented on a post made on Instagram by the director, will he be naked the whole time? And the director responded, there will, in all caps, be nudity. Why are we trying to sell a SpongeBob movie with nudity? I'm hoping this is a joke. But even if it's not, and it's that silly cartoon nudity, you know, like in the episode where SpongeBob does this, even if that's the case, why are you trying to sell the movie on the fact that SpongeBob's going to be naked? It's a weird vibe, and it makes me uncomfortable. I just found out that there is a Minecraft feature film in the works right now with Jack Black and Jason Momoa. And that casting seems pretty ordinary. Jack Black seems to be in every video game movie lately, and Jason Momoa is a huge star and a big draw for audiences. But the weirdest casting choice that I've seen is that Jennifer Coolidge will be in that movie. Now, I don't know if the movie's going to be animated or live action, but either way, I can't wait to hear this. Wow, a diamond pickaxe. I need to make a Nethergate real bad. This is so stupid. What am I doing with my life? Amazon Prime's new show, Fallout, has been blowing up the internet. People have been loving it, calling it the greatest video game adaptation of all time. I am one to agree, having played the Fallout games before. Alongside the show's release, there was a bunch of promotional videos and pictures that all seemed to have the same phone number in them. 213-25-VAULT. Now, apparently, this is a real number that you can call, and there's a message on the other end. Now, I've avoided watching any videos where people call the number because I want to see what's on the other end for myself, fresh, right here on the show. And so I went and grabbed my wife's phone, and I'm going to call it. That actually scared me. I wasn't expecting it to just start screaming right off the bat. I thought there might be something crazy, maybe some, I don't know. I thought it was going to at least start with Walter Goggins' voice. I mean, check out Fallout now on Amazon Prime. It's great. You should watch it. A lot of people are really excited for the release of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. The first two movies were received really well, and honestly, they are fantastic. Now, the third movie has teased that Jim Carrey is going to be in a more video game accurate appearance as Dr. Robotnik, which, I'll be honest, fat suits are kind of out of vogue these days. As a fluffy gentleman myself, I don't mind a fat suit if it's well executed and actually funny. But the thing that has people the most excited is that fan favorite character Shadow, who was teased in the post-credits scene of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, is going to be played by Keanu Reeves. I am so excited to see this. I have never actually played any of the Sonic games with Shadow in them. I've played Sonic Adventures, Sonic Adventures 2, a lot of the side-scrolling games, but I don't have a lot of familiarity with the character Shadow, and the fact that people are excited that Keanu Reeves is a good fit for this character makes me excited for the character. My fingers are I'm crossing all my fingers, I'm crossing my toes that we get a perfect trilogy of Sonic movies, because a perfect trilogy is hard to pull off in general, but based off a pre-existing property, especially a video game property, that would be a Herculean feat. In response to Universal's Epic Universe Park, Bob Iger announced that they are going to be expanding the Disney parks with a $60 billion with a B dollar expansion. Now, that $60 billion is to expand several of their parks. Disneyland Paris is getting a retheme and getting expanded. Disneyland Anaheim is about to have a huge expansion and just got approved by the city council to be expanded. And Mr. Iger also says that Disney World in Florida is also getting some major additions. A lot of people were saying the Epic Universe was finally going to make Universal be able to compete on the same level as Disney, but never underestimate what the mouse is willing to do to stay on top. One of the changes that has been teased for Disneyland Anaheim is actually an avatar world similar to the one in Animal Kingdom in Florida. Now, when you look at this concept art, there's one thing I notice. There's a water ride that comes out and then goes back inside. Are they going to replace the Nemo and Friends submarines and Autotopia to build this? I am all for them getting rid of that stupid submarine ride that smells like fart and makes you feel like a sardine in a tin can. All right, it is time for our special guest. Let's get right into the interview. All right, everyone, we have an amazing guest today, WTFAleisa, an amazing TikToker who makes a plethora of various styles of content. She's hilarious. She's great. And well, without further ado, let's welcome her on. What is up?
Hi, dude. Thank you so much for having me, first of all. I'm so excited to be here. Long time watcher, first time caller. I'm just kidding. So what is up? What's the hot gossip? What's the 411?
The 411, I just got back from Disney and my kid got that travel flu, so I'm just like trying to survive. She's with her mom right now and watching dancing fruit videos on YouTube.
Honestly, sounds like a vibe. And you are braver than our US troops for that.
All right. So let's get to know you a little bit. How did you get started on TikTok?
Well, it's a tale as old as time, Jake. I, during lockdown, much like everybody else, had absolutely nothing to do and was alone with my thoughts. So I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to download TikTok. Downloaded TikTok, had it for like a couple months before one of my videos blew up. And I was like, oh, okay, that's like my 15 minutes. That's cool. But then it kept escalating. And now 3 years later, I'm a full-time content creator. And it's awesome being able to do what I love, get paid for it, and actually be my own boss and like have all this free time. And I'm just so lucky because I was a crony in corporate America before this. So the full 180 is like, this is awesome. So that's how I got started, and I'm just the luckiest one alive to do this for a job.
That is so awesome. That's the dream right there. It's doing full-time content. I'm still working on it. You know, I just started doing TikTok shop stuff, and I was shocked because I checked it, not thinking I had any commissions, and then oh wait, I got $90 in this commission account.
No,
I was like,
the TikTok shop
what?
is insane. I know people are so sick of it on the feed. I am biased though, because I do only promote things that I enjoy and actually use. There was one time where it was the epitome of the task failed successfully meme, where I and many other content creators, every once in a while, we just request the sample just to get the free thing. Like if we don't get commission, that's fine. So I did that with the barefoot shoes from Saguaro, God bless them. And I just wanted barefoot shoes, and then I posted about them, and then the video now has 3 million views, and I'm like,
oh my gosh.
I was like,
how have I missed that one?
oh, yeah, the company called me because I'm sure you're familiar that on the TikTok shop, when you go to a shop, it shows you how much they have sold of something.
Yeah.
So when they contacted me, they had only sold 9 pairs of shoes, and now they're like selling a lot of shoes. And I was like, whoa. They literally called me later, and they were like, hey, do you want some more shoes? Because you're doing really well. I'm like, hey, if you want to send me some more, that's fine. So they sent me more, and it's really cool. And I love them. I genuinely love those shoes.
This interview has been brought to you by Barefoot Shoes.
This interview has been brought to you by Saguaro Shoes, the leading... I couldn't improvise it.
Well,
I got nervous. It's fine.
Oh, Tony was like, I think I want to get some of those barefoot shoes. And I have a really wide set foot. So like, I've even thought about like maybe getting some because I'm tired of how like walking shoes squish my feet.
I'm a little biased, but like you should get barefoot shoes.
Oh yeah, but I agree with you. I only put stuff on my showcase that I would use or have used. So like I have like Ghost Energy on there because I drink that all the time. I have the Jesus Has Risen shirt, and
that is
where all my commissions came from because that video went like 20,000 views, and a lot of people
Nice.
bought it from there. And so like that's what I'm doing now. I got some other stuff coming that has been sent to me. I'm really looking forward to that. The TikTok shop. I made the very first episode of this. I made a joke that it was the Gen Z QVC.
Oh my God.
And now I'm such a hypocrite because I'm using it and making money off of it.
Hey, you're telling me I was a through and through TikTok hater for years, and then I downloaded it, and everyone's like, "Hey, remember when you were talking smack?" And I'm like, "That wasn't me. That was Patricia."
I refused to get TikTok, and then it was actually before COVID, but I didn't really start posting on it a lot till COVID.
Right.
And one video hit like 250,000 views on my first account that I had, and I got the bug, and it's such a great outlet for creativity. And that's my biggest thing is I have a hard time finding outlets for creativity because usually the barrier of entry is really difficult. But
Right.
for TikTok, it was so easy.
Right. You have a whole studio in the palm of your hand. You can edit in app. There's filters, there's trends. Like you're connected to the entire world, and it's fascinating. And yeah, same thing happened to me where I posted one silly video and then that like blew up, and now this is my life. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't uninstall this app now.
Do you ever get like the weird random people like either recognizing you or people like in your daily life who come across your TikTok and they're like, I know that person?
Literally 10 minutes before I got on here, my friend was like, "Hey, Miss TikTok star, I cannot escape your face on my For You page." And I'm like, "You're welcome, actually." Like, yeah. And I haven't seen him since undergrad, like in 2016. And so many people I've lost contact with saw me on their For You pages, found me on Instagram, DM'd me like, "Hey, do you remember me?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I do." So it's like just the absolute reach that my content has had with so many people. I could honestly start crying right now about it. It's absolutely magical to me.
My dad came home from work and was because not a lot of people know this, but we moved in with my parents because we live in California, and we moved in to save up money for our house, and luckily we
Listen,
are.
I know your lore. I'm a fan. You're one of the first people I followed on TikTok. So like
really?
this is a full circle moment for like me that I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's so cool. I've gotten to interview so many people that I'm also huge just fans of.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like I don't know if you know the Matt Man show. He does the Church of Star Wars. This is the way. That guy.
Oh my God.
I
Because
got to interview
listen,
him.
you're gonna like cancel me for this. I'm not a huge Star Wars person. So like I very rarely interact with Star Wars content. The closest I got was Pedro Pascal being the Mandalorian, where I was like, maybe I should watch the Mandalorian. But I still haven't.
Well, you don't get to look at his face much.
Hey, listen, I'm into that.
And most of the time, it's not even he's not even the one in the suit when he's on camera. He's just the voice.
The plot thickens.
I know. Well, because he has all these hits. He's Last of Us that he was filming. He did that movie, The Bubble. He's been in every other movie.
He is collecting franchises like Infinity Stones. He was in Star Wars. He's in the MCU now. He was in Game of Thrones. Now he's in The Last of Us. Like you said, there was something else he did recently too that I was like, oh, this man is everywhere.
Marvel.
Like,
He's going to be
the MCU.
Mr. Fantastic.
So many people were mad about that casting, and I'm like, why? He's great.
I'm not mad about Pedro Pascal playing Mr. Fantastic. I'm not mad about I'm not familiar with the actress who's playing Sue Storm. But for me, it's the age gap. Like it's just Hollywood continuing to put these like very young women with these older guys. And I'm like,
oh, a plot hole? Yeah.
but it is Pedro Pascal, so maybe we could let this one slide.
We can turn a blind eye for
Pedro. With how many young women are absolutely in love with him, maybe it's actually not that unbelievable.
But Vanessa Kirby's not that young. How old is Vanessa Kirby?
She's in her early 30s.
It is Vanessa Kirby, right? Am I thinking about the right
it's
person?
Vanessa Kirby. Yeah. But yeah. So you're not a fan of the Star Wars franchise, but are you a fan of the Bourne Identity franchise?
Surprise Matt Damon? Oh my God, that's crazy.
I had to put in a surprise Matt Damon.
That is the most romantic thing anyone has ever done for me. It's like, I gotta put a surprise Matt Damon in this interview.
But yeah, so Also, little plug. I'll put a link in the bio. She has surprise Matt Damon merch.
I
That
do. That is one of the things I did want to promote because would you believe the powers that be on the algorithm don't want me to get that bag?
well, that video is like, oh, last I checked, wasn't it like 30,000 likes?
The one promoting the merch?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I have to check it again. I just know that somebody left the most random hate comment on that,
All
and I'm
that.
like, of all the videos of mine, you pick my merch promo video?
I see because I saw that video where you're reacting to that comment, and I went back and I'm like, okay, what video is this? Is it a smash or pass or something? And then I
Is it the
go,
Eiffel Tower videos? Is
and
it
I'm like,
the celebrity height reveal?
yeah,
Which era did you pick?
yeah. And then I go, and it's surprise Matt Damon.
I'm like, instructions unclear, but I'm gonna make content about this because what?
Oh my gosh! So, what is your favorite of these series? While we're talking about these, that you have done, what is the most fun for you to make?
Oh, that's such a tough question because I have so many series that I'm both proud of and had a blast making. Because I'm lucky that I'm in that camp where I'm a personality based account and I can kind of post whatever, and then people will just be like, "That's so true, bro." So there's so many. Surprise Matt Damon is one of my pride and joys. I do love that because that is the perfect apex of fun party trivia and my love of film. And I
Mhm.
feel like no one really opened the conversation about Matt Damon terrorizing cameo appearances. Celebrity height reveal is one I also love doing because it's, again, fun party trivia, things that everyone and no one thinks about. Like, what do you
Yeah.
mean Young Gravy's 6'8"? I feel like that should be more known. And it's funny, I only know that
Wow.
because I reposted that TikTok where I featured Young Gravy and I'm like, he's 6'6". And just for giggles, I tagged him in the video and he DMs me. He's like, actually, I'm 6'8", but I don't like to say it because I sound like a douchebag. And I'm like, Mr. Gravy, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for fact checking me on your height.
That is hilarious. Yeah, the
And
the ones that always surprise me because like Robert Downey Jr. being short and Tom Cruise and like
yeah,
people always think I'm short, but I'm
you don't give
5'11".
short.
I
Yeah,
am, huh?
you're not short. You don't give short.
Some people think people always shout when like I say like I'm 5'11", or they see like a full body shot of me because I'm like, also because proportionally my width to height ratio makes me seem, shorter. But yeah, I'm 5'11". I'm not tall, but I'm above average, and
You
that's all
just
I could
missed the
really ask
cutoff
for.
for my Short King series. People are
Oh
also
my gosh.
surprised by my height because I'm 5'7", which for a Cuban woman, I should be in the NBA. But and I've met a lot of my mutuals in real life and they are always shocked. They're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm really tall because I'm taller than most of my friends." And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. One of my friends, Laura, she is like 5 foot even, so she's like, "Whoa." I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Well, that's what all of my friends are like. My best man in my wedding and my best friend, he's like 6'4", and then I have all my
Oh,
other
what's
friends
up?
are like in the mid sixes, and so I've my whole life felt short, and
Right.
then like my bathroom mirror is super high, like unusually high, so then I'm like just barely kind of like looking at myself like this. So there's so many things in my life making me feel short.
That's God is a comedian doing that to you. It's like, oh yeah, everyone's just 6'5" around you, and we're just gonna no
Yeah.
explanation.
Oh
Yeah,
my
here in
gosh.
Miami, since the population is like majority Latin, everybody's really short. So
Uh-huh.
me trying to find like a partner that's like taller than me is like trying to find and solve the Da Vinci Code. I'm like, hey guys, what are we doing here? The whole thing. Because the average female height in America is 5'4", but the average Latina height is 5'1". So me being 5'7", I'm huge. So when I
Yeah,
did my Short King series, So many men were like, 5'8" and 5'9" aren't short. And I'm like, I open every single one of those videos by saying, for reference, I'm 5'7", so to me, this is a short king. But they never get it. They're just like, me, 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 me. And I'm like, that's fine. Drive up my engagement. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't. I'm surprised that I ended up as tall as I did, because my mother's really short. My dad is like the exact same height as me, but I'm don't know where he got his height from, because my grandfather is like a 5'3" Mexican man. He's very tall, and so we don't quite know where because my grandma was not tall, and the only
The
tall
math
person.
is not mathing. You're like,
The math's
what
not
happened
mathing. The only
here?
tall person a couple generations back would be my great grandmother on my mom's side. She was like 6'1", but
Casually.
my mom didn't get that. And so yeah, I'm just glad to be just slightly above average, because it could have been so much worse.
Could have been so much worse. Yeah, same. I'm like, I'm so glad to be 5'7". Like, I feel like it's the right sweet spot where I'm tall, but not too tall where it's a problem.
Like, we have to duck when you come into low doors.
Oh yeah. One of my friends, her boyfriend is 6'8", and I'm like, he got a brother? What's going on?
What have you got planned for the future? What do you got going on that you want the people to know about?
Ah, yes. Breaking news, talking to TMZ right now. So I have done stand-up comedy before, and I would like to start doing it again. And I'm really excited because what happened was pre-pandemic, I was like, the microphone's always going to be there. But then the weirdest thing happened in March of 2020 and everything closed. And I was like, oh, it's not always going to be there. So my initial focus was building my platform. And now I'm like, okay, I'm doing this full time. Things are going really well. Now I can diversify my portfolio, my ROI, like my Jordan Belfort era. I'm just kidding. So I do want to do stand up soon. The merch is pretty new and I would love to like promote that more. And yeah, just kind of diversifying right now, getting back into YouTube. That's another one because YouTube is hard.
Oh my gosh, I know. That's
It's
the main
so
platform for this.
hard.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it just felt like after like 2015, if you weren't already big on YouTube, you weren't going to get big on YouTube. But
It's very difficult.
yeah, it does feel like it's opening up a little more. I think with shorts, it's helping.
Yep.
Uh, I have almost 3,000 on there now, so which is shocking to me because I never had more than 150 in any other attempt. So
Let's
I
go.
think it's opening up a little bit.
Yeah, I just got to get back into it because the only thing that prevents me from doing it more is how long editing takes. And I currently can't afford to hire an editor. So I got to
Yeah.
be there like, oh, am I proud of it? Every single time I'm like, oh God, God. And then, I'll start editing a video when I was 18 and I'm 29 now. And it's just, I've been editing the same video for so
But I use CapCut for this podcast because
Really?
it's nice to have it on my phone so that no matter
Hmm.
where I am, I can edit it, because especially when you have a 9-month-old and you work from home,
Right.
finding time to film a 30-minute to 45-minute long podcast is difficult. So CapCut is a godsend. I love it. And it makes it easy to import clips into TikTok.
Right. Because you save it, it's directly in your camera roll, and then you just good to
Yep.
go, baby.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
way I do it is when I do the individual like news stories that I do my monologue on, uh, I put a transition in between each like story.
Yeah.
And well, it's just like it's a little just thing. And
Yeah.
that gives me a marker to easily just cut it into clips and then
Yeah.
send it off. But yeah, so stand-up comedy, doing that.
Yes.
You have surprise Matt Damon merch. Where can the people find you?
The people can find me at WTFAleisa.com. All of my socials and my endeavors and my plans for world domination are linked on that website. So If you have no idea who I am, just go to WTFAleisa.com. We got my merch, my YouTube, my Instagram, my collaborations, also my Cameo. That's another thing I want to start doing more. And I'm like, guys, do you need me to break up with your boyfriend for you? Because I could do that. You need a pep talk. You need a happy birthday. You need an I'm sorry. You got accepted into college. I can do all of that. But that's another one where like TikTok's like, are you promoting something that's not TikTok? No. And I'm like, all right, what do I do now?
Yeah, I actually was looking to see if Matt Damon was on Cameo for this interview. But unfortunately, he's too big of a star.
If you somehow got Matt Damon to acknowledge me, I would probably have a cardiac emergency and die on camera. You would have the exclusive death of me on camera. That is crazy because believe me, I have tried because despite all of my eras and my series and my, different creations, the most beloved one is Surprise Matt Damon. And people tell me all the time, they're like, we gotta get Matt Damon to acknowledge this. I'm like, I am trying, but he doesn't have social media. Like, I don't know how to get in contact with him. Like, I don't know if I gotta fight Jimmy Kimmel or something. I don't know because my vision for the culmination of Surprise Matt Damon, I literally have the TikTok planned out in my head and everything. I want to make a part, whatever, of Surprise Matt Damon of me just being like, hey team, I know you guys really want another Surprise Matt Damon, but there just aren't any more. I'm really sorry. And then Matt Damon just comes up from behind me and he's like, excuse me, do you know where the bathroom is? And I'm just like, what's up? And he's like, do you know where the bathroom is? I'm like, no, dude, I'm so sorry. And he's like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, sorry, man. Just walks away and I'm like, anyway, my bad. And I just don't address that it's Matt Damon at all.
Here's what you need to do. Burn an effigy of Jimmy Kimmel. It summons him. He'll just appear in your living room.
If I just say Matt Damon 3 times, like he'll just show up like Beetlejuice and I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, and like I would love to someday get Matt Damon on there and then maybe even include myself in the fake Jimmy Kimmel Matt Damon beef and like be like a safari expert David Attenborough, like it is here that we see the 2 alpha males arguing with each other once again. Now, this has been something that's been going on for the last 24 years. This is absolutely incredible. It's a very rare sighting.
All right. So one last quick question.
Of course.
What is your favorite Surprise Matt Damon?
Scotty doesn't know that Fiona and me
Really?
do it in my van every day. That's my favorite one, followed very closely by Interstellar. As much as I despise the movie, it was a premium Surprise Matt Damon.
Oh, yeah.
Because you are halfway into this 3-hour odyssey with Matthew McConaughey. And then it's just like, what? And I'm like, Surprise Matt Damon. Like, who put that there? And then we had one this past weekend that everybody was tagging me and that he showed up on SNL. So everybody's like, Alexa, we got another one. I'm like, oh, let's go.
I think my favorite Surprise Matt Damon has to be when Ben Affleck snuck him in under his trench coat.
That is a good one. That is primo Matt Damon.
Ben Affleck just walks out, struggling to take.
Just doesn't address it. Like, he's just like, hey, man, what's up? It's like, what do you got going on there? Surprise! Oh, that's such a good one. I think another real fun, well, they're all great Surprise Matt Damons, but the ones in Thor 3 and 4, incredible. Because I remember sitting in the theater and I was like, is that Matt Damon? And then so many people pointed out, I'm sorry, is that what you're going to say now?
Oh, no, go ahead. Somebody pointed out.
Oh, my bad. So how someone pointed out that in Kevin Smith's Dogma, he plays Loki. So for him to play Loki in Thor, it's like a callback. And then in Captain Marvel, Stan Lee, rest in peace, is reading the Mallrats screenplay. So it confirms that Matt Damon is possibly a Loki variant. Like,
well, I have never seen Dogma.
Me neither. You can't even get it anywhere.
Yeah, because of freaking Harvey Weinstein of all people. Did you know that?
Everything. I did know that because somebody stitched my video and explained it. Like, yeah, you just can't find a physical or digital copy of Dogma anywhere anymore because of Harvey Weinstein. And I'm like, we can't have anything anymore.
No, that dude just ruining everyone's lives.
So that is a Matt Damon property I have not been able to watch because
Yeah.
also this is also going to get me canceled. I've never seen a single Kevin Smith movie, which is surprising for me as a person. That's like my brand, sort of. Like I'm just like, such a huge movie person, and I've never seen a Kevin Smith movie.
I'm gonna be honest. I have not seen one in its entirety either.
Oh,
I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan. I've read a lot of the comics he has written, and I religiously watched Comic Book Man.
I actually have not
And
seen
I've
Comic Book Man
listened to
either.
like some of his stand-up stuff like that, but I don't think I've actually seen a Kevin Smith directed movie.
Everyone's canceling us right now. We're like,
I
hey,
know
sorry.
this is like when I said the Crow reboot might actually end up being good. I'm just gonna lose a lot of followers.
Ooh. See, that's what I thought about the Roadhouse reboot. I'm like, this could be better than the original, but I didn't say that on main like you, amateur mistake. And I did rate it a 6 out of 10 because for anyone that doesn't know, whoever is not familiar with my lore, I do rate movies on my Instagram account. Like I post it on my story. I get into arguments with people. It's super fun. And I rated Roadhouse a 6 out of 10. Not great, not bad. But the first half of the reboot is so good. I was like, we might have like a Top Gun Maverick situation with this, but then the second half is so out of left field. I'm like, all right, we lost the plot. However, Conor McGregor was fantastic in that movie. He was such a silly goose. They wrote his character so perfectly for who Conor McGregor is, and I want to see him in more movies.
All right. Well, this has been a lot of fun. We've
so
gone
short.
way
We
over the
could've-
estimated 15 minutes that I told you. I apologize for that, but we
My
just
love
having such a
language
good
is
time.
conversation with people. I could do this all day. It's all good, but thank you so much for having me. I would love to shoot the some more with you another time because I love talking about movies and talking to my friends. This is the dream, really.
All righty. Well, thank you again for coming on. Everyone, all of her stuff will be linked down below. Go follow her. Buy her surprise Matt Damon merch. Post a picture with hashtag
Please
surprise Matt
get
Damon.
me in a room with Matt Damon. I need
Matt Damon.
him to have a shirt. Matt Damon, known lover of this podcast as well. I know you're watching.
Yeah.
My guy, you're a very hard man to get a hold of. I really need you to make a TikTok with me. That would be, I could honestly retire TikTok after that. I'd be like, cool, I got Matt Damon on there.
Come on, Matt. You know you want to do it.
Mr. Matthew.
Ditch Ben Affleck. Make Alyssa your new best friend.
Make me a Dun King. I could be a Dun King.
All right.
Thank you
Talk to you
so
later.
much. Talk to you later. Bye. See you, makes little hearts.
Thank you again, Alyssa, for coming on the show. It was a wonderful interview. Can't wait to have you on again.